Hi everybody, in this video we are going to learn the methods to calculate the functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity is the volume of air in the lungs after the end tidal expiration. So how do we calculate it? We have three methods, we will go one by one. First method is helium dilution method. Helium dilution method is a closed circuit. As you can see, this is a circuit which is closed, and the components of the circuits are, this is the oxygen cylinder, and this is an helium cylinder which is attached to the circuit, and this is an CO2 absorber, that is a soda lime which absorbs the CO2, and another is an helium analyzer. These are the parts of the circuit, and here is a mouthpiece, and here is where the patient sits. Initially about 2 liters of oxygen is added to the circuit, and the volume of helium that is added to the circuit which makes about the 10% of the total initial volume of the circuit, and the person is made to sit here comfortably over the stool, and this is the mouthpiece, and this is a shutter. Initially the shutter is closed and the person sits here with the mouthpiece and is asked to make few tidal breaths, and at the time of end tidal expiration, the shutter is opened. Now the person breathes through the circuit. Once the person breathes through the circuit, the initial helium which was in the circuit enters the lungs, and there is a change in the concentration of the helium present in the circuit, and this process is continued up till the change in the helium concentration in the circuit is less than 0.02% over the 30 seconds. Once this is achieved, the shutter again closes. Then we calculate the FRC by the law of conservation of the mass, that is C1 V1 is equal to C2 V2. C1 is the initial concentration of the helium in the closed circuit, and V1 is the initial volume of the gas in the closed circuit. C2 is the final concentration of helium in the closed circuit, and V2 is the final volume of the gas in the closed circuit. We know C1, we know V1. We calculate C2 by the helium analyzer. V2 is V1 plus delta V. By substituting C1, V1 in C2 and V1, we get to know the delta V, that is the functional residual capacity. This is how we calculate FRC by the helium dilution method. Coming to the next method, that is nitrogen washout method. It is an open circuit method, unlike the helium dilution method. Here we have an oxygen cylinder containing 100% oxygen, and an N2 analyzer and an volume meter, and the person is asked to sit here. At the end tidal expiration, the person is asked to breathe through this circuit, which is containing 100% cylinder, 100% oxygen, and this process is continued up till the N2 in the expired air comes to 0. Up till then this process is continued. Once the N2 analyzer shows that the nitrogen in the expired air is 0, this process is stopped. And again, by the same formula, law of mass conservation, we have C1 V1 is equal to C2 V2. C1 is the initial concentration of the nitrogen in the lungs. For all practical purposes, C1 is 0.80. V1 is the initial volume of the air in the lungs, that is the FRC which are going to calculate here, and C2 is the final concentration of the nitrogen in the expired gas which is expired, which is measured by N2 analyzer. Then V2 is the volume of the expired air measured by the volumeter. We have C1, we have C2, we have V2. We substitute this value and we get the V1, that is the function residual. Now coming to the final and the last method, body plethysmograph method. This body plethysmograph method, as you can see, there is an box. It is an airtight box in which the person has to sit. And it has a mouthpiece, a shutter, and a transducer which measures the volume, pressure at the mouth of the person, and the pressure changes in the box of this box. Once that person enters this box, the door is closed and the person is made comfortable to sit over the stool, and person is asked, initially the shutter is open, unlike that of the helium dilation where the shutter is initially closed. Shutter is open and the person is asked to make few tidal breaths through this mouthpiece, and at the end expiration the shutter closes and the person is asked to make voluntary inspiratory efforts against this closed shutter. Once during inspiration the lungs expand, so the pressure in this box increases, but the volume decreases because during inspiration the volume in the box enters the lungs. So according to the Boyle's law, we have P1 V1 is equal to, it is initial pressure in the box before inspiration and the initial volume of the air in the box before inspiration is equal to the pressure in the box after inspiration and volume of the air in the box after expiration, that is V1 minus delta V. By this method we know P1, we know V1, we'll come to know P2 by this pressure transducer thing, and we calculate the delta V. Now whatever we have calculated is for gases in this box. Now we apply the same Boyle's law for the gases in the lungs. That is P3 into V2 is equal to P4 into V3. V3 is V2 plus delta V. P3 is the initial pressure in the lungs before inspiratory effort, and V2 is the volume of the air in the lung before inspiration, that is the FRC. V2 is the FRC that we need to calculate, and P4 is the volume of the lungs after inspiration, and V3 is the volume of the air in the lungs after inspiration. So we get to know the P3 P4 by the pressure transducer, that is PM, and delta V we have already calculated over here. So with that, substitute that delta V here and we calculate the V2, that is the FRC. This is how by three methods we calculate the FRC. For calculating the residual volume, we know that FRC is equal to end expired respiratory volume plus residual volume. So we come to know the FRC by all these three methods. Expiratory reserve volume we can calculate by the spirometry, routine spirometry, and when we know this, we is equal to RV is equal to FRC minus expiratory reserve volume. This is how we calculate the residual volume. Thank you.